So this morning I received a phone call from a childhood friend, someone that I grew up with. That it's more family than a friend, someone that's been there, that knows me, someone that saw me grow up as I saw him grow up for the most part. Um, and and he had, as part of the group of friends that we both had, um, he had this other friend that was like that as well. Like he was close to all of us, but he wasn't my direct friend. It was more like his friend, and that he also shared a lot in his life with. Uh, and my childhood friend tells me that his childhood friend, our buddy, the one that we both know, passed away. He goes on to tell me details on the situation, which I'm not really gonna discuss in full, but he told me enough for me to hear, and apparently he felt he fell in a dark spot mentally. Um, this was a father. His son is the same age as my youngest son. Um, he was a teacher. He was a good dude overall. He had his own religious beliefs, and he apparently started having issues. I'm assuming from what my friend told me, started having mental inconsistencies and started drinking a lot. And um, anybody that knows how alcoholism or just basically just alcohol damage, because you don't necessarily have to have a alcohol bloodstream issue to have issues from alcohol, because alcohol's an MFer, right? You can all the way destroy your liver before you become a full-blown addict. Um, so, long story short, he got depressed apparently, and he got sick past the point of return. He had a couple of doctor visits, and he had then one final hospital visit, and that was it. And from what I hear, he passed away in good company. But I share this because I know that my good friend, my childhood friend, I know that he's gonna receive his own message from this, because we no longer live close to each other. So I know the Father is gonna teach him and show him the things that he wants to show him through this situation accordingly. But I also saw things that the Father pointed out to me in this situation. Having it been that It was someone that I personally knew. Um, it's you know, we went to birthdays together. We shared. I mean, we shared a lot of things, throughout the years since basically preteen, since childhood, since I met him. So I also received a couple of insight, a little bit of insight from the father, and it spoke to me because I'm not an alcoholic. That's how all alcoholic. I'm not an alcoholic, no, but I don't consider myself to have issues to that depth with alcohol. But at this age that I am currently in, I've never been older than what I am right now, right? And you'll never be more experienced than what you are at this moment in time. I mean, you will be more experienced, but this is all the experience at this moment in time. And we grow, right, in understanding. And it hit me because I often struggle with sense of purpose, sense of just like what's the point type of thing, and it really put things into perspective for me because I tend to do that sometimes too. I fall into this situation uh, where I'm like, I don't know what you want, man. Talking to the father, and I don't know where all of this ends. What's the point? You know, and and I'll start drinking just to take the edge off after work, or and again, I know that I know the thing alcoholics would say, right? I know I can stop whenever I want. I know I can. It's not a. It's funny because the enemy will come to you, and the enemy will give you a lot of. It will try to fear monger you, cause you to fall into fear and fears, and that you're gonna get sick from something else, and this, that, and the other. And then the thing that you least think that will be the one to bring you down ends up being the thing that you never thought that would bring you down, be the thing to get you. This is something I'm taking away from this situation. He was like 45 years old, man, like always in shape, like worked out, like a gym dude, just overall healthy, like he didn't have any substances of like a higher degree, it was, you know, and I often have found myself in that mental space where I just kind of say fuck it, and I guess I fall into a lack of an appreciation for all the good things that I constantly have that are 100% reliable every single day of my life, and that's not right, and sometimes it takes, I'm still trying to decipher at my age, ever since I was young and I started my walk with the Father. There was a passage that hit me, and I still don't know 100% in context what it truly means, and I have to go back and read it in context again now that I'm a little older. But there's a passage that says, "And I will give men for your life." Now, whatever context that may be in, I'm sure that it has a very good logical explanation, biblical explanation for the phrase. But when I first read that phrase and the word, it jumped at me. Just that phrase, you know, I will give man for your life. And for the life of me, I've never been able to go back and really grasp the essence of that in full context. But I always remember that feeling that I got when I read that first time. And it's almost like as if the Father told me that He was going to show me the things I needed to see and things I needed to know in order to get to where I'm going through the lives of different men. And that's a tough one, because this is not the first time that I know of a person that something drastic happens to that is close enough for me to know and pay attention, that I have had a chance to reevaluate things in my life through another man's calamity, or whatever it may be. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. I felt like it might be helpful to someone else as well. Even if we find ourselves in a place of being stagnant for whatever reason it may be, whether it's your own procrastination, whether it's just lack of you seeking the answers, and this one's mine, which is you just have to wait. You just have to wait on the Father to open that door, or to give you that green light. And I know that not everyone understands this concept, and that's okay. But I have made enough wrong moves in my life to know when I need to wait, and it sucks, man. It sucks when you make the wrong move based upon your own logic, that this is it. Nothing feels better, man, than when you finally get the full confirmation. It's like, okay, this is what needs to be done, or this is where you're going, and this is what you're doing, and then you take action, he still leaves you some room, because you still have to step through the door when he opens it. He will open the doors and put things in place, but he leaves it up to you to put one foot in front of the other. And again, this is a concept that maybe not a lot of folks, depending on your walk, where you're at in your walk with the Father, is how you're going to perceive or understand what I'm saying. But I've made enough wrong turns and made enough of my own entries to know that the Father's timing is the Father's timing, and there's no way around that. So sometimes you might find yourself waiting. You may not even know what you're waiting for. You just know that you are exactly where you need to be for an appointed time. But you also are in a place where you have gotten to comprehend that it's his timing. It's up to him. It ain't on you. So if you find yourself in a spot like that, and you start to feel desperate, and you start kind of like Peter, right? When Peter saw the Messiah walking on the water, he was like excited. He was like, "Master, if you call me, I will go to you," and and Yeshua, Messiah said, "Come." And Peter, he was excited, right? And he was focused right at first, focused on the Messiah, and he steps off the boat and he's like, he's doing it. He's walking on this water. All of a sudden, he loses focus and he looks to the side and he sees the waves and he sees the reality of this logical situation that is not logical, right? And he starts to sink. And then he starts to cry out, so, and extending his hand. And then the Messiah pulls out his hand and pulls him out, and he says, "Ye of little faith." as he's always teaching us things, right? Yeshua never wasted an opportunity to show you something. So we do the same thing, man. We're already here. We're at this point. We're at this point where we know that the Father said, "Come." But every once in a while, we start looking at those waves. Every once in a while, we lose focus. We stop looking at the end game, at the one that called us, at the one that has taken us through all of these other things, and we start to drown. We start to sink. And we're like, "Help, help." And there goes the Master, saving our ass again and again, right? So, message received, right? The last few months, I have been, a little more generous with my recreational drinking at home and in the weekends and things like that. And I also take a medication that is a little taxing, not too much, but it's a little taxing to my liver. And I know better, and I know that I shouldn't. And I take a lot of healthy shit, take a lot of healthy stuff. But I know better, and I know that I shouldn't be doing certain things, like drinking a little too much, because problems could emerge, And I have noticed the last few weeks my feet have been a little bit swollen. Just one of the things that my friend mentioned that happened to his friend. His legs started getting swollen. And anyways, message received, right? And I just wanted to share this for the sake of, just so that you know that we all go through it, man. We all go through the same things. And sometimes it feels like it's never going to stop raining and the storm is never going to end. And we don't see the light of day and it gets tough. But if you have already accepted the Messiah as your Savior and you have already embarked in that walk, the Bible, the Word says that he who started a good work in you will finish it. And none of us know exactly what that looks like. But all we know is what we have been presented in front of us. So that's all we can do. Worry about the things. Don't worry. Concern yourself with the things that you can affect directly in front of you. And be grateful every day of your life. Be grateful every day of your life. Because not a lot of people get to live in this world. Not a lot of people get this human experience. And I'm sure that you are very blessed. Whether you don't see it or, whether you see it or not, I'm sure you have many blessings that you just can't see because you're not focused on the right one. You're focused on all the waves around you, if that's the case. And if you do have appreciation in your heart, then just let this be a reminder that tomorrow is never promised. Tomorrow is never promised. We can only do what we can do today. Don't live your life in fear. Live your life in appreciation. And live your life today like it's your last day. And that's what I'm gonna do today. Today I'm gonna live like it's my last day. I'm gonna go home to my family. And I'm gonna be grateful for everything I have. But somewhere right now, there's a young boy my age that no longer has his dad. Shalom.